folks, this may be a little bit loud, so I'm going to try to talk over it. So this is Deus Ex. It's the original Deus Ex, but it's the Deus Ex revision, which you can find on Steam, and I believe it's free. Which is pretty amazing. This is the first remaster I've seen of a game that I have replayed over and over again for years. And I just found out about something called the Nameless mod that just came out recently. That's a whole different sort of spiritual sequel that's a fan-made game to Deus Ex. And I'm very excited to try that, but in the process of finding that, I also discovered this Deus Ex Revision, which is a true remaster of the original Deus Ex. And we're going to go ahead and do this and watch the intro video and play a little bit, and I'll gush about it, so just wait. Any second now.
Your appointment to FEMA should be finalized within the week. I've already discussed the matter with the senator.
I take it he was agreeable?
He didn't really have a choice.
Has he been infected?
Oh yes, most certainly. When I mentioned that we could put him on the priority list for the ambrosia vaccine, he was so willing it was almost pathetic.
This plague, the rioting, is intensifying to the point where we may not be able to contain it.
Why contain it? Let it spill over into the schools and churches. Let the bodies pile up in the streets. In the end, they'll beg us to save them.
I've received reports of armed attacks on shipments. There's not enough vaccine to go around, and the underclasses are starting to get desperate.
Of course they're desperate. They can smell their death, and the sound they'll make rattling their cage will serve as a warning to the rest.
I hope you're not underestimating the problem. The others may not go as quietly as you think. Intelligence indicates they're behind the problems in Paris.
A bunch of pretentious old men playing at running the world. But the world left them behind long ago. We are the future.
We have other problems.
UNATCO?
Formed by executive order after the terrorist strike on the statue. I have someone in place, though. I'm more concerned about Savage. He's relocated to Vandenberg.
Our biochem corpus is far in advance of theirs, as is our electronic sentience. And their ethical inflexibility has allowed us to make progress in areas they refuse to consider.
The Augmentation Project?
Among other things, but I must admit that I have been somewhat disappointed in the performance of the primary unit.
The secondary unit should be online soon. It's currently undergoing preparation and will be operational within 6 months. My people will continue to report on its progress. If necessary, the primary will be terminated.
We've had to endure much, you and I, but soon there will be order again. A new age. Aquinas spoke of the mythical city on the hill. Soon that city will be a reality, and we will be crowned its kings. Not better than kings. Gods.
Ooh, spooky. And I mean, so it still is obviously very dated graphics, but it's the original Deus Ex. And one thing I've always loved about it is those graphics, while they are dated, they're stylized in some funky artistic way that makes them hold up better than some of the older games do at this age. It's still wild to me how satisfying these graphics are, despite being pretty terrible. And the revision, wow, I just played.
My orders are to stay here.
I just replayed the first level of the original Deus Ex not too long ago, so I'm able to see this back to back, and I'll put the video in the comments here so you can see it too, but it's just crazy,
Heads up, JC. Your brother Paul is on his way to meet you at the dock. The NSF is raiding the island and shots have been fired. I repeat, find Paul. I will monitor your situation from HQ.
But it's still very much the same
I'd
game.
let the bots do the fighting if I were you.
But it's completely changed. It's raining. That's an atmospheric effect you didn't really have in the previous game. This building is new. The lighting is good.
Paul, I thought you were in Hong Kong. Welcome to the Coalition, JC. I might as well start using your code name. Think I'd miss my brother's first day? Didn't think you'd have a choice. What's going on? The NSF. They hit one of our shipments. A few of them got away, but we trapped the rest in the statue. What are we waiting for? Looks like a textbook assault. The NSF took one of our agents hostage. The bots are holding the perimeter, but my orders are to hold back and send you in alone. I think someone high up wants to see how you handle the situation. All I've got with me is a pistol and an electric prod. I don't mind a test, but UNATCO better issue some hardware. Remember that we're police. Stick with the prod. It'll stun your opponents or knock them unconscious. A non-lethal takedown is always the most silent way to eliminate resistance. Just in case, though, Manderley wants you to pick an additional weapon. A sniper rifle, a GEP gun, or a mini crossbow. Never know when I might come up against some heavy armor. Give me the GEP gun. The GEP gun might be useful. They have a security bot on patrol near the statue entrance. Great. What's the first move? I'm going to give you a map of the island. If you can get to the North Dock, a UNATCO informant will give you a key to the statue doors. He responds to the code phrase, iron and copper. You could avoid a lot of fighting, though, if you found a back way to the statue. I'll see how it looks on shore. Your primary objective is the makeshift command center the terrorists have installed at the top of the statue. But don't forget about Agent Harriman. We think he's being held on the ground floor. What are my orders when I reach the command center? Interrogate the leader. We don't yet know why the terrorists would risk an open assault.
Pro tip, always take the GEP gun because you can get the other two pieces elsewhere on the island in this first level. I always love the mini crossbow, but you take the GEP gun because if you don't take it now, you don't get it for like 7 levels. Look at how sharp those crates are. Oh goodness, look at them. I'm so old. But just looking at this, like, it cracks me up how much better these look. And it's very clear the same pixelated, funky weirdness of a game, but man. And then in here, as you can see this crate, this was just such a joke because you would need a flashlight just to see this stuff. And you can't really see this part, but the controls are just so much smoother. It feels like a modern AAA FPS game, the way it all smooths together. And that's probably just to do with the resolution, but it just is. It's good. And again, the lighting is just better. It's atmospheric lighting. It looks more appropriate.
What's your take on the situation, Corporal?
The bots have them bottled up, sir. We'd go right in if it weren't for the whole back order.
How'd they get one of our agents?
Gunter went rogue on us. When the order came, he wouldn't pull back. Now you get to bail him out.
But they changed all kinds of little stuff. So, still have your thingy here. And I always appreciate Paul's speech that you want to do the non-lethal takedown, but like they barely give you any ammo for this thing.
If you want to make a covert approach, remember the Academy's stealth course. Stay out of their field of view, walk slowly to stay quiet, and crouch behind cover. Or if you have to get your hands dirty, remember that a headshot is a lethal takedown.
Yeah, like look at this. They added trees and bushes, they added more lamps and lights so the lighting is more appropriate, which does make it harder to sneak. And then this dude, they changed everyone's patrol paths, and this guy completely sees you sneaking up on him. I say that.
I saw somebody.
God! Yep. Can't jump over a bench still. God! How embarrassing. But yeah, that guy, you can't sneak past that guy. I tried. Which is crazy. And this is...
Now this is what I said.
Wow, well, there we go. Okay, alright, so you've seen... No, I swear I'm very good at this game. I've played it a lot, but that was not my best performance. So, but I actually appreciate that because every playthrough I've done before, the best way to go about it is to play with rifles. And this is just a little bit further in the game, or in the same level. But so it's always the best way to play is with rifles. And in this playthrough, I was really sad that I hadn't invested any points into my pistols. Because you don't get rifles for most of this level, but they're so good later on that you want to level them as high as possible. But you definitely feel that skill missing in this one. You saw how bad I was with that pistol there, where the aim reticle was giant. So yeah, it's an actual compromise, where before it felt like the only choice. So, yeah. I'm just going to do a little bit more. I don't want to make this a very long video. I just wanted to gush a bit about this remaster, and I am super pumped that I found this. I mean, the Nameless mod seems cool. I'm excited to try out the new story, but I'm even more excited to see how this mod has changed and how much it's added to my favorite game. One of my top 5 favorite games of all time. Look at this. Yes, it's crap for like its 90s visual garbage, but oh god, it's just such a faithful and loving touch-up of an absolute classic, and this guy is fucking... Oh gosh.
I saw somebody. Take him out.
Lucky shot. Probably.
Be careful. The NSF has set up patchwork security systems here.
Yeah, man. I mean, with all the atmospheric and added light, like, this is nowhere near as easy to sneak around as it was in the original, but that makes sense, because this is a giant tourist area. It's not like a spy playground. It didn't make sense that you could just sneak everywhere. I'm gonna wait much longer than it takes a lot. Nasty recoil on that. And of course, if you're not trained with heavy weapons, you crawl when you're carrying it. But when you stick it in your pocket, you don't. Does that make sense? Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's really basically all I wanted to show. Like, it is so cool how much attention was put into this. Again, I'm really looking forward to playing through it again, which is hilarious because I've played this game 100 times, but this adds so much spice and extra stuff to it. Like, this is the best thing I've found in a long time. I'm really pumped about it. Anyway, that's it. I won't make you sit through my gush fest anymore. If you watch this, I appreciate it, and hey, maybe give it a try.